Today is Friday the 5th of June, that we are all here gathering this time to do this evening chanting and to show our respect to the Triple Gem, the Buddha, Dhamma and Sangha, and show our respect to the Buddha for his kindness and compassion. This morning I spoke about Buddha's first discourse, and that the Buddha taught to the 5 ascetics, those who were attendants of the Buddha while the Buddha was practicing asceticism, austerity practice. And after Buddha changed the path, and they left thinking that he wanted to be becoming the Buddha. But somehow after they left, Buddha continued his dedication and determination to attain the liberation, which eventually on the full moon day of Vesak, he managed to attain the enlightenment, and he went on to teach these 5 ascetics who were staying at the Saranath, Deer Park. And after the Buddha taught the first discourse, which is called the Dhammacakkappavattana Sutta, or the turning the will of the Dhamma to these 5 ascetics, one of the oldest senior members called Kondanya, he understood the Buddha's teachings and asked permission to be a monk. So then Buddha allowed him to be a monk with the word saying Ehi Bhikkhu Upasampatha, which means now on you are a monk. And after that, Buddha gained the confidence that Buddha's teachings is practical and people can understand. And after that, the Buddha taught the remaining 4 ascetics. So, sorry. Padiye, Wappa, Mahanama and Asachi. So 4 other members along with the Kondanya. The second discourse that the Buddha taught to these 5 ascetics was called the Anattalakkana Sutta. Now that's the discourse on the So the Anattalakkana Sutta, the discourse on the characteristics of a non-self. Now this sutta is one of the most important suttas or discourses in early Buddhism. It is found in the so-called Samyutta Nikaya, and traditionally regarded as the second discourse given by the Buddha. And this was also given at the Deer Park, the Saranath. Now, according to the tradition, after the listening to this second discourse, all 5 ascetics gain liberation or arhatship. Now, the fundamental part of the Anattalakkana Sutta is that, is there anything in our experience that we can rightly be regarded as this is mine, this is I am, this is myself? So these are the three questions which we can ask to ourselves too. That this is mine, is it? That is this I am, and then that is myself. So these three questions the Buddha asked, and the Buddha used the question and answer, asking for our physical form, asking for our feelings, our emotions, our perceptions, our mind, our consciousness. So he asked each and every five aggregates, components, that the physical body, pleasant feeling or unpleasant feelings, or a recognition or a memory, a perception, or our intention and awareness of some objects are, whether is it ours, or are we that, or these are ourselves. So he asked the questions saying that is a form, or this body, is the body permanent or impermanent? That's a very simple question, but very deep meaning. Have you ever asked yourself that is this body permanent or impermanent? Obviously, it's impermanent. We are not same as we were. So everything about the body, and even everything about the mind, it changes, and it's changing constantly. Now, if the subject is changing at all the time, is it satisfactory to us or unsatisfactory to us? Now, the person whose mind is not sharp enough, or haven't understood, may be confused with this question, or maybe not sure. But someone who has understood then will confirm that this is unsatisfactory, because we don't want to be get old, we don't want to be get sick, we don't want to be old age, sickness and illness. So three things we don't want to be, but the body is something that we have no control over it. Day by day it's decaying, day by day we're getting more illnesses in ourselves without we recognizing it, and which is the reason we get ill easily. Even eating little bit spice we feel uncomfortable, or eating little bit of a fatty things, and then again we feel uncomfortable and cause pains and here and there and something like that. So it's obviously unsatisfactory, or cause suffering. Yeah? Now what changes cannot provide a lasting security at all. It's always changing. Our body change, our feeling change, our perception change, our mind is changing every day. Now, the things that are subject to change and are subject to the suffering, reasonable, is it reasonable? It's actually, we have to regard it, or we have to understand it, that this is not mine, this is not I am, and this is not myself. If we think that this is mine, we should be able to control our body. We should be able to make it still, not getting old, not getting sick. It's like always want to be 16 years old, huh, Paul? Yeah. So that's if this body is ours, we should be able to control it, but we can't. So, and then we think that this is me, this is I am, but again it's very untrue. And if we say that this is myself, then again, it's not, because it's always changing. We cannot control over it. So that's why it's a no. It's not. So this way of the dialogue, communication that the Buddha led with the five ascetics actually made them understand the non-self concept. He started with the body, that if body were truly self, then one could be able to command it, that let my body be thus, let my body be this way or not that way, able to command in this way or that way. And then also, if body is belongs to us, then we should be able to make it as we wish, but unfortunately it's not the one. And it changes as the condition changes. So what we think I am, or this is I am, actually it's not. So a common misunderstanding is that the Buddha was teaching that nothing exists at all, and which is not true. But the Buddha was basically telling the truth, that this particular discourse does not argue that the people do not exist in a conventional sense. Instead, it challenges the idea of an unchanging, permanent essence hidden within experience. So the Buddha directly, Buddha directs attention to what can actually be observed, that our body is changing, observe it objectively. Our feeling is changing, observe it objectively. Our perception is changing, observe it objectively. And our thought and our intentions are changing in a flicking moment, and our consciousness are changing as well. So that's why I normally think about the Scottish weather. It's changing so rapidly that without you knowing it. Even today, early morning, it was sunshine, and later heavy rain, and then a wind, and now perfect. No wind, no rain, but no sun, and it's still. So that's actually our condition of our mind and body too. It changes so quickly. So since these our body, feeling, emotion, mind, perception and consciousness changing or constantly in progress or process, then these are not qualified to claim that these are permanent, and these are like an independent self. So these are interconnected. So when we practice, that's why the Buddha's teachings is basically, it's not just a philosophical theory, but as a method of liberation by understanding it. And that's the understanding of these mind-body clearly, and developing this enchantment and no attachment on it, and there is no craving, and mind is liberated. So that's why seeing these factor in a very clear way, that seeing as impermanent, unsatisfactory, non-self, and developing this passion on it. And once we have developed that dispassion, so we will be able to withdraw ourselves and find the liberation. So that's why this is one of the very important discourse that the Buddha taught to these five ascetics, and the reason again he taught this sutta to these five ascetics is simply because these five ascetics ordained as an ascetic and studied the concept of self and reunion with the greater soul, which called Atmans, and they believe that this is the greater soul, and that's the permanent and in order to change their understanding, in order to change their view, so the Buddha spoke on this aspect. And when he told in a dialogue system, all five have understood clearly, and all five became the Arhat. And after they have become an Arhat, so that's how these five disciples became the first five disciples of the Buddha, who will contribute towards the spread of Buddha's dispensation. So I stop here, and I wish you all the best. And after hearing this, may you also gain enlightenment soon, like these five ascetics. So with this, let's do the chanting.